It's okay, baby. Be quiet. Shh. We're almost done. We're not going to stay here long. I know you're scared. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. Be quiet.
Diana didn't know if Bigfoot or Dogman existed when she filmed this. A lot of people were really upset with her that she was using her kid as bait.
But he's looking at us and I'm scared.
Just wave at it. Shh. Be quiet.
But he's looking at me and I'm scared. He's looking at me.
She got her phone out and started filming and didn't really know if she was capturing anything.
Don't see anything. Be quiet.
But he's looking at me and I'm scared.
Hey, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Get behind me.
But now he's looking at me behind me. Mommy, I'm scared. Are we almost done?
Yeah, my love. We almost done.
In the swamps of Louisiana, there are monsters.
Where you're showing at, it's like a half a mile from my house, and it's very secluded. You can't really walk through those woods except on a little bitty trail because it's the quicksand and the high water back there. But there's high places back there where these guys stay. They live near the water. There's a whole group of them. The ones I've seen, there's 2 big males, there's like 3 older females, and there's quite a few young. I've been seeing them for 3 years. I bought them food. I thought I was getting friendly with them, but the big males were never around. And one time, feeling comfortable, walked out there like I always do and got scared to death. I got growled at and intimidated really, really bad. And I didn't go back for a year after that. But when I finally did go back, they're still out there. And some of them do look like dogs. And I've seen some that look like gorillas and lion-like faces, and some of them look retarded. I hate that word, but they really do. And another thing, like in the springtime when I was going out there, this is another time I got scared real bad. I didn't realize another group had came down. The first time I didn't recognize them, I didn't, and I got growled at. I got like bushes shook, growled at, roof. And they do climb trees. I don't know. I don't think they're as big as the ones up north.
Yeah.
They're still big, but they're not as big as the ones up north.
Right.
And they like my little girl. When I would bring my little girl out there, they would show themselves to her.
Right.
And she would just flip out. She won't go there with me anymore. Everybody I've ever brought back there to see them won't go with me anymore.
Hello, YouTube land. This is Brentonsawin coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. Now, I know that many of you have watched the Diane Tribe of Bigfoot video, and it was controversial, and you just watched the intro, and I can tell you right now that that is some absolute positive proof that there's something in the woods in South Louisiana. Now, Diane, at first, after all the negative comments on the first video, she didn't want to come back on, and I can't blame her. It was absolutely horrible how everybody acted about that. But after talking with her for a little while and looking at the fact that there was 20,000 plus people or so at that time that had looked at the video, and the amount of negative comments were absolutely, below 1%. So Diane agrees to come back on the show and speak with us and further give us some of the information that she has. And she, in my opinion, out of all the researchers out there, out of all the things I've seen on the internet, besides the Patterson-Gimlin and maybe a few other little pieces, Diana has some of the best footage and pictures of Bigfoot, Dogman kind of stuff out there. So I really appreciate that Diana is coming back on to talk with us, and I know that there was a huge amount of fans that emailed me privately that absolutely love Diana and everything that she has done and appreciate her. So without further ado, we're going to talk to Diana again, and I absolutely love this woman, and I'm telling you, at some point I'm gonna make my way down there if she allows me to do it, and that's a fact. But anyway, how you doing today, Diane?
Just fine, you?
I'm doing wonderful. I really appreciate you coming back and talking with me some and talking with the fans here. There was a few things I wanted to say right off the bat that I think the pictures and the footage you have are absolutely top notch.
Thank you. I've told you, when I took that, I had a shitty phone camera, and and I just started filming that one day and got it. And like the pictures, you know, like I said, after I saw, I got obsessed and I went out there and like I had a little shitty phone camera and I took pictures and I know people were, why you didn't get a better camera, and I just didn't, you know, because I didn't think I would show them to anybody. I didn't think anybody would be interested. I didn't think anybody would believe me.
Right.
But
yeah, you know, you did a good job for what you had, and it was several years back. I think we were talking, and we thought maybe it was like 3.5 years ago, something like that. You know, cameras on phones have progressed over time and gotten a little better. So you did what you could. Now I want to also touch on the fact that the footage when your daughter was saying it was looking at me, you didn't really know at that time that there was Bigfoot and Dogman out there at that time. So you kind of just brought your phone out and was you didn't really know for sure if she was just overreacting or what have you. Can you kind of fill us in on that?
Well, we went out there. Like I said, we would go out there a lot. I grew up in those woods and those swamps. I grew up there. So it was nothing for us to go out there. That day, she said, "Mom, should I see something?" So I said, you know, first video I ever made, I turned the phone on and I was videoing and I'm going around and she starts telling me, it's flipping out. I don't see what she's saying, but I'm still videotaping.
Right.
I could tell she was scared to death, but I mean, you know, my job as a parent, I felt like was to calm her down. You know, I didn't see what she saw. You know, I seen, you know, like a flash, a movement, but it could have been anything. You know.
All right.
To me, it would be better to stand my ground and keep looking for what she thought. You know, she thought looking at her than for us to turn tail and run.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was the way I was raised. You don't run. You know. After that day, the times I went out there, now I know what's out there, and I know what she saw. But I've seen it for myself now. And actually, believe this or not, last time I went out there, my daughter did come with me and another friend. And we went out there, and we didn't really see anything, but the point of it is she went out there with me again, and she wasn't afraid.
Right.
Maybe with her age, and maybe with the shock. I don't know.
So she was around, what age was she when you made that first?
7, I think. She was about 7 then, and she's 10 now.
Okay. So, well, you know what? That's an excellent point you just made. That from a mother's standpoint, you thought that it would be better to stand your ground and figure out what she's seeing. That's awesome.
Right.
My goodness. Yes, that kind of sheds a little light on the whole thing. Because if you didn't know what it was, I mean, why would you take off running and make it maybe pursue you?
Chase you.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, I never even thought about it in that kind of way. Now, when you live in the swamp and down there, that there's a lot of different dangers, isn't there?
Yeah, I live like on the edge, and yeah, there's a lot of dangers. I don't go deep in there no more. As a kid, we went back there and we played and we did so much. But as an adult, and now it's more dangerous back there. There's quicksand back there. There's wild hogs back there. There's coons. And since the high water, now there's alligators back there because they come out of the lake and into the woods because there's like 2 foot of water in some spots back there. So I definitely wouldn't go back there, deep into there now. I just wouldn't.
Right. Yeah. But like you said, when you were a kid, you played out there, and it wasn't no huge ordeal. And
But it was
I don't
a lot higher back then. It was higher, like it was drier and higher. When the springtime comes, I think, and the water goes down, it'll dry out again more, you know, and you can go further in there. But as of, like, right now, I don't even know if there would be a way to go back there safely.
Okay. Yeah, you know, come this summertime, it'll dry up some and probably go
Right.
down. Now, the things that you discovered that lived there, can you kind of fill me in on the what you kind of have seen, kind of the big picture of the whole situation, the tribe? Is it a tribe of things? They
Yeah,
come and
I call them
go?
the forest people. There's like, from what I've seen, the group that I've seen for years, for 3 years, there's 2 big males. There's an assortment of females, and there's like small ones. The small ones, you don't see the small ones that often. They keep them tucked away. They make, I don't even know how to describe this. They'll do something to a tree, and I had a picture of it, to where they bend the tree a certain way, and they put the babies in them. They just set them in there, and they're covered. But I'm gonna look and see if I can find that picture, because it's really awesome the way they do it. It's almost like some kind of little playpen they make for it, like a little nest.
Well, you sent one picture that was like a really elaborate, kind of strange, almost like a Lego set or something, kind of little pieces and stuff sticking on it, and there was a little face or something that was like just looking from the structure, almost like a teepee structure or something.
Right.
And then you had another picture that was almost real brushy and a lot of leaves and stuff like that. You could tell it was maybe summertime, and there was a face poking out of it, and it looked like a baby because the fur was really black, and you could see 2 eyes. You could see the mouth, but you could hardly even see the nose because the fur was so black.
They put them. They do that. They put. You don't really see them that often with the young. They put them in these bushes and little things they make. It's really odd. You start seeing them. I mean, I thought the ones that I've seen like walking around or climbing the trees, maybe about, I don't know, 4 foot tall.
Wow.
I mean that's just my estimation, about 4 foot tall. And I don't know if that would be how old that would be. If that would be considered a toddler, an adolescent. I really don't know.
Right.
Or you can see them sometimes, like the younger ones, playing like on the bank. I have a picture of that too. Where there's 2 of them. You can't see them good, but you can see 2 of them, and they're right there on the bank, on the mud, by the water. And do you remember that picture I sent with you where it looks like they got a group of them sitting on the side of the tree?
I'm not sure which one, but
I'm about to look and send it to you. But I mean, I've seen them. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I said, I've only seen 2 big males, multitude of females, and the young. That one spring when another group came down, I don't know how many was in there, and there was some weird looking ones. I was scared of them. I don't know why they came. They were more aggressive than the group that I was currently watching. I lost my train of thought. And you know, I find the females of the group aren't really that aggressive. It's the males.
Right. Yeah. The alphas.
It's the males, because the males will lead, and it'll just be the females, and I won't see the males. And I haven't seen the males as much as I've seen the females.
Right.
But when the females are around, the males are around, the females are different. They act different. And the males are very aggressive. They throw things.
Right.
It's hard to explain. I would love for somebody to see. I really would.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the alphas are protecting the group, I reckon. There was one picture that you sent where I think I used it on the thumbnail for your last interview, and this thing is kind of looking between some trees, not real big trees, And when I zoomed in, I thought it was a cool picture, but I didn't really uh, have the good gear to where I could just, you know, I mean, I had gear that I could analyze it closer, but you sent a lot of pictures, so I never did. But when I zoomed in on its face, you're going to see that it looked like a cross between a gorilla and maybe a orangutan. It was kind of more reddish brown looking, and it looks like it has a nose piercing, like there's a bone or something going through its nose, like it's pierced. And it has something in its mouth that looks like a bird. And I'm not kidding you, it is a very clear picture. You can see its eyes, you can see its mouth, you can see its face almost perfectly, just as if you were sitting in front of someone. And it looks like it has like a baby, like maybe bird or a frog. I can't tell what it is, but it's like hanging out of its mouth, like he's bit on it, and he's looking through this tree, and it looks like a nose piercing. It like they're actual people that have maybe even have piercings and stuff like that, like humans would.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. You know what they do? They take. I noticed they'll take like leaves and branches and stuff like that, and they put them on themselves. I've seen them where that is one way that they blend. They wear stuff. They wear, I don't know. I've seen one where it looked like he even almost had like an alligator skin on top of him, but they wear like disguises. I don't even know how to explain it because you're the first person that ever really brought that up. But they do. They wear like leaves and sticks and branches and stuff on them. I don't know what else. You know, maybe some kind of animal skin. I'm not sure. I don't even know. But they disguise themselves like that. I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
And I never really heard anybody else say that. But I've seen that for myself.
Right. Well, this particular picture, I mean, heck fire, I would never even thought it, but it looks, I'm not kidding you, like it has a nose piercing. That's a sign of intelligence. That's a sign of some maybe even evolved humanity and in them and I mean it's a very clear picture. I really want you to see it when you see the video for sure.
Right.
But
some people think the Neanderthals never died out. You know that, right?
Yeah.
This could be like some kind of subspecies.
Right.
I don't really know. But I've heard so many different things. I mean, I only know what I saw. I only know what I see.
Right.
There's just so many different, opinions and theories about it. It's just hard to say.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, this picture is not an opinion. It's a fact. Because when I was looking at it, unless he has got it like held in front of his face and it's not really pierced through his nose, it really looks like a piercing, like a chicken bone kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like you would see in Africa or something, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it was like, oh my goodness, that would be what I would expect to see in a swamp area down there that maybe these things have been there for a long time. They developed their own culture or something. But it looks to me like a culture. So wearing leaves and things like that I do not doubt that for a second, man. That's incredible.
But it's weird. It really is. I do believe it is some type of culture. That's why I call them the forest people.
Right.
Because, I do believe they are intelligent.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the things they do. When I was bringing food out there and stuff like that, so many times they could have killed me, done me anything they wanted, but they never did. I mean, I think when they felt a little threatened or if I got too close, they would throw things or they would make these sounds in their throat. It's just amazing. It really is.
Now, whenever they growl at you or make some kind of noise to ward you off, do you think that they have vocal cords that are so impressive, I guess you would say, that they can actually hit you with the sound, like Scott Carpenter talks about, and actually
It
physically
will
mess.
freeze you in your tracks.
Right.
It froze me in my tracks. I mean, I just stopped dead. My stomach, I mean, I can't even explain. People say, you know, your stomach turns to water. It was kind of like that. I can't, I was just, whew, I froze, and after I got my wits about me a little bit, I backed out as slow as I could, and I just wanted to get out alive. That's how I felt. I was really, really terrified. I mean, that sound, you feel it in your chest. I felt it. It still kind of gives me the chills to think about it. I mean, it's nothing like you've ever felt. I mean, I've been growled at by dogs. It's not the same.
So it's an actual, like, infrasound type
It's a
thing that can
feeling.
physically alter. Yeah.
It will
Wow.
freeze you in your tracks. I mean, it was just like my whole body reacted. The hairs on my neck stood up. My body was screaming, "Danger! Danger! Danger!"
Wow. That's incredible.
It was. I mean, I'm actually. I don't know if it was from the stress, but after an incident like that, I got a migraine so bad. And I don't know if it's from the stress, being scared, or maybe my blood pressure shot up. I don't know.
Wow.
But that's an experience.
Wow.
That is scary.
Yeah, sounds like it. Now, so how tall do you think, like, the biggest alphas and stuff like that are that you've seen?
Over 8 foot.
8 foot, and
At least. Yeah.
they maybe even seem a little bit different from the northwest eastern or northwestern types. They kind of look different from what I've seen.
They all look different. No two of them look alike. They're like us. Like, people look different.
Right.
They all look different. It's not like, you know, one breed of dog, it all looks the same. It's not like that. I've seen, like I said, different type looking ones, fat faces, skinny faces, retarded looking ones. Just like I said before, they had like a lion looking, where it had like a lot of fur around its head, and a flat face, and a flat nose.
Wow.
But the babies, the ones I've seen, they all kind of look the same. They're small, they're dark. They got round heads. But I like, and it's almost like on the babies, it's almost like they got a neck. I don't know if they do, but it's almost like they do. But once they get like a little bigger and stuff, there ain't no more neck. I don't know where it goes, or if the fur covers it up. It's just like this. Some of them got misshapen heads. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like they don't have any neck at all. None.
Wow.
I've only seen like the neck on the smaller ones. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah. Well, I think the body kind of shape and stuff like that kind of changes even with humans. You know, the head looks big and the body looks little when a baby's small, and so that's understandable for sure. Now, what about the Dogman situation? What have you seen down there that looks dog-like?
I've only seen one that, like, I really thought it was a dog until it stood up, and and it was with that group, so I really couldn't tell you. Maybe, like I said, a subspecies, or maybe just the ears. I don't know. It's messed up something, because even like some of the Bigfoot ones kind of got snouts. Some of them got like real flat noses, but some of them got like snouts.
Right.
I don't know if, like I said, if there's maybe a subspecies, or I really don't know. The dog-looking ones I saw when the second group came down, they all seem to interact. I've got a couple pictures of them. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think, you know, that some kind of subspecies. Right. I really do.
Yeah, there seems to be some type of Bigfoot that has a snout, and then there seems to be sometimes a a type that is almost completely dog-like, that can has dog-like legs. So yeah, there seems to be a lot of diversity in the different types of Sasquatches, that some people might mistake them for a dog
I've
man.
seen one. He had like this really long face and this really big chin. Like it jutted out real far. Like his chin jutted out. You could actually you could see his bottom teeth. He had this big flat nose and sunken kind of eyes. I'm like, it's strange, but they all look different, and I don't even know how to explain it. But like I said, it's kind of like people, you know, how we all look different. They all look different too.
Yeah.
And like I said, maybe the dog man or whatever, maybe they interbreed, or maybe they're the same species with just different characteristics.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
we, you know, like us.
Yeah. 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 There might be like an intermixing, that's for sure, because I know that some of the stories I've heard, they were almost like a dog standing up, and then there's some combinations, like different aspects of each kind of combined. So it's kind of a mystery for sure. But it sounds like to me that around where you are, they're the Sasquatch looking ones with the snouts, and most people that encounter the dog man that has the dog legs and everything, that they say that they are really they get a sense of malevolence, like it is not okay to be around at all. And
Right. I never seen the dog man's feet. I only seen when it stood up, so I really don't know what kind of feet it's got.
right.
I never saw that part.
Yeah. Okay.
I never even thought about, you know, I just thought it was the same thing, honestly, you know. I don't know. That's an interesting thing that I'm going to have to look for.
Right. So you said that you have took food out there in the past. Did they ever take the food from you?
Every time.
Really? Wow.
I wouldn't like go hand it to them or nothing like that. I would just go as far as I could go on the trail.
Right.
And I would put it out there on like a little mat that we had. Me and my daughter had woven this little mat out of this grass, and we put the food on there. And I mean, I assume they took it. I hope they took it. You know, it wasn't there anymore when we moved back.
Right.
And we would take Japan plums, and we would take apples and different things like that.
Yeah.
I've actually found out there a big pile of oyster shells, empty.
Huh.
Like a big pile of them. And that was kind of odd to me. Like, you know, who would go out there and just sit out there and shuck oysters?
Yeah. Well, they would.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of odd.
Yeah. The last guy I interviewed, Tracy from down in Mississippi, he had an encounter down at, he has a really long driveway, and he was walking down the driveway one morning just right before daylight. But after he had his encounter there, and it kind of roared at him and took off, he went over there, and he said there was a turtle shell that was broke in half, and it was hollowed out. But it wasn't like broke like if we get a turtle and we, you know, take the bottom off the shell, you know, and clean a turtle to eat. He said it was snapped in half. It like it had grabbed it and just snapped it crossways, you know.
Wow.
And he said there were several things laying there by this log that it would sit on, watching the deer that came across the property for, I guess it was hunting and scoping out. Very, very interesting to think about that. The thing was there watching, you know, for his food.
I'm sure they take advantage of whatever they find out there.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah. So now when you go out there, what do you kind of just you know, be cautious and yeah, how do you approach it? Like if you go out there now?
The last time I went out there alone, just to give these couple of pictures because I wanted to go, I was very afraid, but I went anyway. I just walk out there and I just look and just walk. And the last time I went out there, what I call sentries, there was one, and at first I didn't know what I was looking at. I seen it and then I froze and I kind of went behind the tree and I looked again, and it kind of like, it was already like standing up, but it like stood up more. I don't even know how to explain it. And I snapped a picture of it. But right after that, I was so afraid that I backed out and didn't go. I haven't been back since.
So there was one video that I seen that you had where you said, "What is that smell?" I didn't know maybe if it was like maybe a dead fish or dead alligator or something like that. But have you like smelled them sometimes?
Yeah, and it's just like it's a mixture of dead fish, urine. I know it sounds like crap, like shit. It's like the nastiest, and kind of like you know how something dead smells?
Yeah.
He's like, you know, when your dog go outside and roll around and something dead and come inside, that smell.
Yeah.
Kind of like that mixed with urine and fish. That's the only way I can describe it. It's noxious. It's just like the worst smell. But I haven't always smelled that smell. I smell it sometimes when I would go out there, but not always.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe I wasn't, you know, I was downwind, or I just don't know.
Yeah. Some people think they have a gland and they can actually make that smell to kind of like a skunk would do as a defense thing.
That's possible, but it'll gag you. It's like the worst thing I've ever smelled in my life.
Right.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier, and you said that sometimes you have things thrown at you when you're kind of going through that area.
Right. Yeah. Plenty of times I've walked and I've had nothing to hurt me, like rocks thrown at me, and I've turned to look. And sometimes it seems like it would almost be like a game. This is maybe when the big males weren't around. I don't know. But I found when the big males weren't around, that's when I would have like sticks, little rocks like thrown, not to where they would hit me, but where they would just go right past me. And I would turn around and look, and I wouldn't see anything. But I mean, I don't know what else would be out there throwing things, you know. But it was almost like just to get our attention. And we would turn and we would look, and we would keep on.
Well, I think that's kind of explainable by whenever sometimes I walk up to like a fish tank, I'll poke the fish tank and stuff like that, trying to get the fish to respond.
Right.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I never felt threatened when that happened. You know, it was like easy. You know, we walk out there, and like I said, they would like it would like go in front of us, like from the behind. It would just go like sometimes over my shoulder, right in front of us. And I mean, there's no way nobody else is out there. You know what I'm saying? It's not people doing this, and I really don't think raccoons throw things at you.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, my opinion is maybe the younger ones, or maybe, you know, the juveniles were doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I made this video where I went on a fishing trip, and I was standing there looking at these little acorns and stuff that was falling off this tree, and I said in the video, yeah, these acorns are falling off into the water. They were falling off into the water earlier, and sorry about that. But anyway, I said in the video that these acorns was falling into the water, and when I was looking at that video, the tree was probably 30-40 feet from the water. There was no way it was falling in the water. And that night, when I was you know, over by the tent and the picnic table and stuff, I was hearing these huge limb snaps, and it was like several, you know, sound like big limbs breaking and stuff falling and stuff like that. And I kind of got a little bit spooked, but I hadn't really started covering the Bigfoot subject, so I never even thought about it. And so anyway, I I later thought about it after covering this topic, and I thought, well, that was a Sasquatch, and I was down by Dale Hollow Lake, and so I kind of had an encounter down there that I didn't really know I had until later. But anyway, if I was to come down, um, um, I would come down for however many days, and I thought that we would maybe walk down that trail or something, get a little footage. And you said something about maybe a boat. Can you kind of give a little?
Yeah, I was going to hire the boat, and I could probably get him to take you, down to the place. I think it'd be very doable.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a person I've taken out there before too.
Okay.
I've taken out there twice before.
Yeah.
So it's a person I trust.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I thought it would be the right way to do it is just to kind of go the first day around kind of the outskirts of things and get a little footage to let them kind of see, someone new or something like that, because they probably know who you are and your daughter and, whoever goes out there, and, kind of go in a little bit easy and a little bit slow, and then go back and edit maybe at the motel or something and see what maybe we caught, something like that. And then,
yeah, that sounds good.
I'm looking so forward, to coming down there. I've never been to Louisiana, and I thought maybe we would, come down there, spend, a few days or whatever down there. And, the guy who was in the video of the dog man, the guy who shot, maybe even holler at him and say hi to him. And I really look forward to meeting some of the people that I've talked to and interviewed, because you all are fascinating people, and I very much appreciate you sharing your stories and stuff. So thank you very much, Diana.
Thank you. I think it'll be amazing. I can't wait until y'all come.
All right. Well, we sure appreciate you, and the fans appreciate you too. Now, I want to let the fans know at this point that I am going to only let approved comments come onto the video this time, because last time it was a little bit crazy with the comments here and there, but out of the total amount of hits, it wasn't really that many bad comments. But so keep the comments nice. Try to be understanding of someone who didn't know things were out there in the woods, and have some manners, things like that. And if anybody wants to help make a contribution towards going on this trip, and I guarantee you I'll bring you a series of videos that will be really cool to watch. So you can go to my PayPal at brentonsawin@gmail.com, or go to Facebook Mysteries to search, and there's a donate button there that you can contribute towards the trip. And I guess that's about it on that. If you have a story, you can also email me at brentonsawin@gmail.com. And anyway, Diana, I really thank you wholeheartedly for sharing what you've shared. This is the second time now, and I really appreciate the time that you've invested and all the things that you contributed to help me make some cool content for people to watch and to learn from. So God bless you. And
thank you, Brenton.
You are very welcome. And I appreciate you more than I can express in words. So I'll be talking to you. You have my number. You can call anytime that you want to just talk or whatever. If you find some new awesome picture or whatever, you can email me or call me, either one. And you just store my number away and don't lose it. And we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Brent. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, thank you. And
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you too, Bland. That's so cool that Diana was, able to come back and share some more information with us, and I really wanted her to come on so that we could talk some about the comments and everything from last time. That made me feel so horrible that there were some people, accusing her of being a bad mother and things like that, and it just wasn't the case. She was standing her ground, and she was making sure that she didn't flee from something that she didn't even know what it was, and I think she did the right thing. You don't just take off and run. You can cause a pursuit mechanism in some kind of creature and what have you. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. To me, I think it's absolute proof of Bigfoot in the swamps of southern Louisiana. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.